It is your host with the most, Warhammer, aka Little Shimmy, aka the Forge Master. Let's go! Forge Gang! Alright, so I am here to do another video covering all the deaths of a specific character or group of characters, and on this rendition, I'm going to be covering every time that the Pilaf gang, Emperor Pilaf, Mai, and Shu died in the series, including all the spin-offs. Okay, so first of all, somebody asked me a question about why I didn't cover the character of Mai. Mai, as well as future Mai, is not a recurring character in the series. She only appears in the Emperor Pilaf arc, parts of the Red Ribbon, and the Demon King Piccolo arcs, a couple of times in GT, like the first episode of GT. She appears in some parts of Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, Future Trunks, the Beerus and Champa Tournament arcs, and the Future Trunks or the Goku Black arc, etc. And then she also makes some appearances in Heroes, I think. So other than that, these characters are really not that important in the series overall. Emperor Pilaf, Shu, and Mai, they don't ever die in the original series, for one thing. Deaths only start to become common in the Red Ribbon Army arc, so that's why I kind of started with the Red Ribbon Army stuff. But yeah, so in episode 12 of Dragon Ball, Goku and Yamcha are fighting and killing various dogs or whatever that Shu lets out to chase after Goku, Bulma, Oolong, Puar, and Yamcha. And so anyways, those dogs are chasing after them, and they probably kill some of those dogs. Also, when Goku turns into an Ozaru, he pretty much wipes out all those dogs when he destroys Emperor Pilaf's castle. Also, later in the Uranai Baba arc, Goku destroys the 3 machine mechs that Pilaf, Shu, and Mai use. He uses an extra strength Kamehameha attack, and then he catches a missile that they fire and then throws it back and stuff. And then there's like the flying fortress thing that the Red Ribbon soldiers under Colonial Silver shoot down or whatever, but I don't really consider none of that to be deaths or anything because those are machines. So the first time that Emperor Pilaf, Shu, and Mai actually die in the series, to my knowledge, is when either Fat Majin Buu, the original Majin Buu, the fat, obese Majin Buu, he either destroys and kills them in a raid, in one of his raids, or they're wiped out when a ki blast from one of Super Majin Buu's human extinction attack, one of those ki blasts hits them and kills them instantly. They could have been together, they could have literally, hold on a second here. There we go. They could have been wiped out in Super Majin Buu's human extinction attack. They could have also been killed when the Earth was blown up by Kid Majin Buu, but I strongly doubt that Pilaf, Shu, and Mai were still alive when Kid Buu blew up the Earth. Anyways, because Emperor Pilaf, Shu, and Mai were already kids, and they technically had the hearts of children, and therefore not pure evil hearts, the second wish of the Namekian Dragon Balls allowed them to be brought back to life in the Majin Buu arc. You know, because pure evil people were not brought back to life by that wish. You know, for example, Babidi and Dabra and Pui Pui and Yakan were not brought back, but Emperor Pilaf, Shu, and Mai and some of the Red Ribbon Army were. But there's probably different reasons for that. But technically, children, at least in Dragon Ball continuity, children don't have hearts of evil, and so they can be revived regardless of their attitude or personality. Okay, so the next time that Pilaf, Shu, and Mai die in the series is when Frieza blows up the Earth at the end of Resurrection F. It's not shown in the movie itself, but there is a clip in episode 27 of Dragon Ball Super. Vegeta is about to finish Frieza off. Frieza blows up the Earth to kill Vegeta, and in the explosion, there's a very brief clip of Emperor Pilaf, Shu, and Mai dying when the Earth blows up, and then Whis reverses time to where before they died. So that's kind of undone. And then finally, in the future timeline, in the Goku Black arc, we know that future Mai is alive, but we have no idea what happened to Pilaf or Shu. And I am not going to say anything about what could have potentially happened to Pilaf or Shu. They could have still been alive up until Infinite merged Zamasu, destroyed all life on the Earth in the multiverse, and then their souls would have been wiped out of existence by future Zeno when he destroyed the multiverse. Other than that, there really is no conclusive evidence, because if future Mai could have been alive after the attacks from the androids and from Goku Black, who could say that Shu and Emperor Pilaf did not also survive up until that point? Just because you don't necessarily see these characters around doesn't mean that they're necessarily dead. Alright, so anyways, yeah. Now, in regards to Super Dragon Ball Heroes, I don't really know too much about that series. I don't really watch that promotional anime. It's free to watch online, but I don't really watch it because it really doesn't fit too much into the main continuity. But I think that there is a version of future Mai that is kidnapped at some point in that series, but future Mai never actually necessarily dies or whatever, because she's never really that much involved in the events of Heroes. And, like, from what I understand, every story arc in Super Dragon Ball Heroes is actually a bit different and is kind of disconnected from other story arcs in Heroes, which is very different from the main Dragon Ball series, where everything is connected into a main continuity, from the first Dragon Ball hunt all the way to when Goku and Oob meet up at the end of the 10 years. Or, further on down in the timeline, or the main continuity of the timeline that's not affected by either Goku dying from the heart virus and the future androids attacking and wiping out all of humanity just about, or where Goku Black changes the timeline itself and kills Goku, Chi-Chi, and Goten or whatever, and then goes to future Trunks' timeline. I'm just talking about the main continuity here. So anyways, yeah, so I wasn't planning on actually doing this video. I wasn't really particularly too much entwined about actually talking about Pilaf, Shu, and Mai, but I did this as a request for someone that wanted me to talk about Mai. These characters are not really that significant after the early portion of Dragon Ball. Like, after maybe the first 100 episodes of Dragon Ball, like, these characters really don't matter that much. They're kind of lost, like Lunch was lost after the Saiyan arc. She practically just disappears from the main cast, and, like, everything is focused on the Saiyans. And it just goes out from there, bro. So, like, Emperor Pilaf, Shu, and Mai are not martial arts fighters. They're not space aliens. They really don't bring anything too significant into the story after the first story arc of Dragon Ball, or the Red Ribbon Army arc, or whatever, but yeah. But hey, I did this, for you, bro. Also, when I said Upa, When I was talking about Upa killing and destroying some of Captain Yellow's henchmen, I got that wrong. That was his father, Bora. And Bora was killed by Tao Pai Pai, and he was brought back with the wish from the Dragon Balls at the end of the Euronai Baba arc. So, yeah. It was Bora, not Upa. I got that wrong. Sorry.